Hello everyone, I am Jeeshnu from India. So introducing my project, Continuum of Knowledge. So we live in the world where we remember the labels, religion, ethnicity, but forgotten the original purpose. To understand this, we must look into the history. If we look into the cultural and heritage damage, it shows how the history was erased to destroy a civilization identity. Even today, in modern era, it continues. Over 520 cultural site was damaged in Russian-Ukraine war, and 160 cultural sites were damaged in Gaza war, and 130 national monuments were damaged in Israel-Iran war. History is no longer decaying, it's being deleted. World knows India is rich in cultural diversity and the civilization that holding its varied cultural diversity. India, diversity flow from the top. Kashmir is a gateway for scholars, and all over the world it welcomes. And Kashmir, it shaped our identity and culture for centuries. Kashmir is an intellectual gateway for scholars, philosophers, and astronomers from all over the world. They travel into the mountain and passes Kashmir to enter into Indian subcontinent. So Kashmir, the mind of the people is vast as Himalayas. But now, the Kashmir, greatest beauty, became its greatest burden. Always, someone tried to own this heaven, they ended up damaging its soul. Due to this, people lost their culture, heritage, even their home. Destruction of monuments leads to displacement of people. Today, the world knows Kashmir as a conflict zone. It's defined by borders and disputes.
हमारे बच्चों की किताबें, यूनिफॉर्म, खाने का सामान, गैस, सब चीज़, मकान, सब चीज़ खत्म हो चुकी है। अब रहने की कोई जगह नहीं है। जंगबंदी होनी चाहिए। इसमें आम गरीबों का नुकसान होता है, दोनों ममालिक का नुकसान होता है। जंगबंदी होनी चाहिए। जंग से क्या निकलेगा? नुकसान ही, वो कुछ नहीं।
Timeline shows the golden age from King Lalitaditya to the modern era of sufferings. Martha and Sun Temple, it's standing at the center, it's ultimate victim of this collective amnesia. Even the religious can be a private experience, but the Martha and Sun Temple core value is public intellects. It's a time when architecture celebrated as astronomy and science. Here, my design bring back the function of this cultural node, the experiential learning space, continuum of knowledge. First, initially, I started with sketches, experimenting various spaces. First, form is focused on the center of the temple. So first, it is a solid stone, then it's split into geometry and continuity in spaces, porous for openness, and all the spaces, interior spaces, is connected to memories. To represent the deep culture, the interior spaces were organized into 4 different nodes: node of sun, node of voice, node of hand, and node of world. The planning was categorized into 3 different periods of time: past, present, and future. The pathway is not just a straight path, it's a sequence, it heals and pulls you towards the future. So the physical bridge, it's aligns with the temple and it's connect the exterior and interior of the building. To create a relationship between the nature, buildings, the natural elements has been integrated in the interior spaces. The energy piles is used for sustainability and building is off submerged to be climate responsive locally. So here, certain colors are available in Kashmir. So combining these colors of slate stones to create a visual interest, also these colors are based on the program. So the materials were chosen from Kashmir traditional architecture. So experimenting various technique with the local artisans. So here, the material palette changes from darker tone to lighter tone. Even the furniture were designed and aligned with it. So here, to bring back the sensory experience that once they had, the spaces were carefully designed, not only to create a visual interest, also to feel the people to their olfactory. So here, the landscape changes from darker green to silvery green. So even the plans were chosen from the local landscape of Kashmir. So the form is positioned along the axis to focus the temple. So the materials were carefully chosen. It's to blur the boundary between the nature and the man-made building. So culture, it's not always visible. The 10% you see, it's just cloth, craft, and language. But the most important 90%, it's under the surface, the Vedic science, culture of living, and religious harmony. So my design bring back these 90%, the value of Kashmir that once they had. So each spaces were carved to fit the life inside them. Some were intimate and some were narrow. But every space, the air feels different. Water define purification. At the entrance, you will hear the sound of flowing water. It symbolically purifies your mind before entering into the interior spaces. As you walk down, the vertical walls were placed to represent the terrain of the Kashmir. The waiting area, it's the gentle, filtered daylight. It's create an ambience of temple architecture. Astronomical exhibition space show the relationship between the modern science and Hindu philosophy. Between two built volume, the transition space is acting as a playscape for the children. It's a safe and secure playscape. The children can free moolly the values that once they had. So the learning space are tactile and immersive. The inclined tree-like structural elements create a forest-like atmosphere. It allows the children to feel and engage to the natural material and the tactility of the nature. So the experiential design fosters the curiosity and the sensory learning. So the archaeological exhibition space, if you pass through the older stones, you feel the weight of the centuries. The stone is the remembrance of the life which is occupied long before us. So the linear gallery spaces were dedicated for the local art and craft. Earth always defines stability, security, and peace. To bring back it, so these spaces capture the landscape of the Kashmir and the natural setting of the Marthan Sun Temple. Inside it, there are 84 abstraction of strain is positioned to honor the origin of the temple. So in Hindu cosmology, it represents 8.4 billions of life. So as a passage, if you walk through it, you feel and hear the footstep of people walking above you. It creates a feeling of uncertainty. The glass walkway above represents the outer world. It shows the entire view of Marthan Sun Temple, the remainings. The pathway is made up of metal grills. While you're walking, you will feel you are being unstable. It shows the reality of the Kashmir. The lush green wall at the entrance, you view from the front, but you are viewing from the different side. It's the same space, but two different sides create two different feelings. It shows the current situation of the Kashmir. So the amphitheater space where the people can gather and share their thoughts together. So the stones were trapped behind the metal grills. It represents the people of the Kashmir. In olden days, these patterns were created in the soft metal wood. To represent it, I created it in hard metal to show the cultural change over the time. The massive stone represents hope and rest. So the gallery space that displays the traditional art and craft of the Kashmir. So, library space plays a major role in my design. If you want to build a nation, you have to educate the youth. The grand volume of learning space offers your imagination to rise. It's a space, it's rediscover science, philosophy, literature that is the valued that once they had before. Fire in Indian custom, it's represent guidance and transformation. To represent the dedicated fire space is designed for comfortability. The seatings were geo-activated, so it encourages the people to gather and interact. So the workspace were integrated with active learning environment where the people, different cultural people can engage with the local artisans. The market space, it's really a sensory space. Even the smell of the material and the craft, it's to get together the people and they will engage. So the space of enlightenment, it's begin with the dark path and lead you to the quiet space. The single ray of light lighten up the entire space. In center, the Kashmiri state tree, Chinar, its position, it's even changes to the season. The sitting is inspired from Indian way of cross-legged sitting. So, finally, as you walk through the bridge, the temple is slowly revealed in frames. The roof is acting as a social space. It's inspired from traditional architecture of Kashmir. So in section, you can see the different volume of the space and how the play of light is shows. So models were printed to experiment how the play of light behave and the ambience of the interior spaces. So finally, in a conflict, the cultural center is often targeted instead of whole neighborhood. It's hard to destroy a whole town, but it's easy to destroy an important landmark. However, the cultural center is gone, people fall apart. However, if you rebuild it, the people started settling themselves. This building proves that culture and heritage can never be killed, only reborn in different ways. Thank you.